What if I told you the Zodiac Killer wasn't just a murderer, but a ghost haunting our perception? Not because he was never caught, but because we were never meant to understand how he vanished. For 5 decades, the world has been obsessed with his ciphers, his letters, his taunts. We've pored over every symbol, every word, searching for a name, a face. But what if that was the ultimate misdirection? What if the real secret wasn't hidden in the code, but in what the code forced us to ignore? Tonight, we're not just revisiting a cold case, we're cracking open a chilling alternate reality. The one where the FBI, the local police, and even the most dedicated true crime fanatics have been played for fools. Because the Zodiac left us a hidden message far more profound than any solved cipher. A message that speaks not just of a killer, but of a systematic cover-up. By the end of this broadcast, the name Zodiac Killer will no longer conjure images of simple riddles. It will evoke a deeper, far more unsettling truth. The truth about how easily a master manipulator can control an entire investigation, and ultimately, an entire nation's understanding of terror. Prepare yourself, because the silence around the Zodiac isn't empty, it's a carefully constructed wall, and we're about to tear it down. Let's rewind. Northern California, late 1960s, 5 confirmed victims, 4 different crime scenes, and then, the letters. Cryptic, chilling, signed with a crosshair symbol. The Zodiac wasn't just killing, he was performing. His stage, the front pages of every newspaper, his audience, the terrified public, and the desperate law enforcement. The ciphers became the focal point. The infamous 408-character cipher quickly solved, revealing his desire for slaves for the afterlife. Then the 340-character cipher, unsolved for decades, now partially cracked, yielding more unsettling ramblings. But here's what the headlines don't tell you. While the world focused on cracking his intellectual puzzles, the killer was leaving a trail of physical breadcrumbs that defied logic. Consider the sheer discrepancy in his methods, from random roadside shootings to a knife attack near a lake, to a taxi driver execution. No consistent MO, no consistent weapon. Experts insisted it was a tactic to throw off police. But what if it was more than that? What if the varying methods weren't about creating confusion, but about testing the limits of attribution? Each crime scene, a controlled experiment in leaving just enough, and just little enough, to fuel endless speculation. For years we believed the Zodiac wanted to be caught eventually, or at least known. We believed his taunts were a desperate cry for recognition. We were wrong. The real genius of the Zodiac wasn't in creating unsolvable ciphers, it was in creating an unsolvable persona. Every letter, every symbol, every wildly different attack method was designed not to lead to him, but to lead away from any single identifiable individual. He understood human psychology, give them a puzzle, and they'll ignore the obvious. Think about it. The sketch, the description of a heavy-set man, then a thin man, the claim of multiple personalities. Was he just lying? Or was he seeding doubt about the very concept of a single killer? The evidence isn't fragmented, it's intentionally disparate, like individual pieces from a dozen different puzzles, scattered to create one impossible image. The Zodiac wasn't a master cryptographer, he was a master illusionist. His greatest cipher was not written on paper, it was written in the very fabric of his crimes.